Most people think their diet fails because they lack discipline. But the real problem starts earlier, and it is more mechanical than motivational. The issue is decision overload. Every meal becomes a choice, and every choice drains cognitive resources. By the time you reach your third or fourth decision of the day, your brain shifts toward the easiest available option, not the optimal one. This is not a personality flaw. It is a predictable neurological response. Research in behavioral nutrition shows that people under high cognitive load consume up to 20% more calories, even when they understand what they should eat. One paper summarizes it directly, quote, "Repeated decision-making deteriorates self-control over time." That is the mechanism. Each small decision reduces prefrontal cortex efficiency, the area responsible for planning and impulse control. Now the consequence becomes clear. You do not fail once, you drift repeatedly. Breakfast becomes optional. Lunch becomes reactive. Dinner becomes compensatory. The pattern is not random, it is driven by fatigue. This creates a loop where poor choices increase energy instability, and that instability further reduces decision quality. Over a week, this compounds into inconsistent protein intake, low fiber consumption, and excess processed calories. Not extreme, just enough to stall progress. The solution is not more willpower or stricter rules. That approach adds more decisions, which worsens the problem. Instead, you remove decisions entirely. You standardize meals so that eating well becomes automatic, not effortful. Think of it as reducing variables in an equation. Fewer inputs, more predictable outputs. The goal is not perfect nutrition. It is repeatable nutrition. Once repetition is established, optimization becomes possible. If you want to fix your diet, you do not start with food quality. You start by eliminating choice where it is unnecessary. That is the foundation of lazy optimization. Small daily nutrition errors rarely feel urgent, but they accumulate with precision. The problem is not a single bad meal. It is consistent underdosing of key nutrients, especially protein and fiber. Most people fluctuate between low intake and reactive overeating, which creates a fragmented nutritional pattern. This inconsistency disrupts internal regulation systems that depend on stability, not extremes. You may think you are eating enough overall, but distribution and quality are misaligned across the day. The mechanism centers on appetite regulation hormones, primarily ghrelin and leptin. Protein and fiber intake directly influence satiety signaling. When protein intake drops below roughly 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram body weight, satiety weakens. Fiber below about 25 to 30 grams per day reduces gastric distension and slows signaling from the gut to the brain. A meta-analysis in clinical nutrition states, quote, "Higher protein diets consistently increase satiety and reduce subsequent energy intake. Without these anchors, hunger becomes less predictable and more reactive." Blood sugar fluctuations amplify this effect, especially when meals are low in structure and high in refined carbohydrates. The consequence is subtle but powerful. You begin to eat based on urgency instead of strategy. Hunger spikes feel stronger, cravings become more frequent, and portion control becomes inconsistent. Over time, this leads to increased caloric intake without conscious awareness. At the same time, muscle maintenance suffers because protein intake is not consistently high enough to support muscle protein synthesis. This creates a paradox where body weight may not change significantly, but body composition worsens. The solution is to stabilize inputs before trying to optimize outputs. You anchor each meal with a fixed protein target and a consistent fiber source. For most people, This means structuring meals around 30 grams of protein and including vegetables, or whole grains that provide at least 8 to 10 grams of fiber per meal. You do not chase variety yet. You prioritize consistency. Once hunger becomes predictable, control returns without requiring constant effort. The next problem is less visible but more disruptive. Your body adapts to inconsistency faster than it responds to intention. When meal timing, composition, and size fluctuate day to day, your internal systems stop predicting energy availability. This creates instability in blood glucose control. You may feel this as sudden drops in energy, difficulty focusing, or unexpected hunger even after eating. The issue is not just what you eat, but how predictably you eat it. The mechanism involves glycemic variability and insulin response. When meals are irregular or heavily skewed toward refined carbohydrates, blood glucose rises quickly and then drops sharply. This triggers a compensatory insulin response, followed by a decline that can fall below baseline. A review in diabetes research states, quote, "Greater glycemic variability is associated with increased hunger and reduced metabolic stability. When this pattern repeats, your brain begins to anticipate energy crashes and increases hunger signaling as a protective measure." This is not lack of control, it is a learned physiological response. The consequence is a feedback loop. Energy crashes push you toward quick calories, usually high sugar or high fat foods. These foods temporarily restore energy but reinforce the same unstable pattern. Over time, this reduces your ability to rely on internal hunger cues. You either feel hungry too often or not at all, until the signal becomes extreme. Training performance also declines because energy availability becomes unpredictable. Even if total calories are sufficient, timing inconsistency reduces effective fuel utilization. The solution is to reduce variability, not eliminate carbohydrates or restrict aggressively. You standardize meal timing within a consistent window and pair carbohydrates with protein and fiber to slow absorption. For example, instead of eating carbohydrates alone, you combine them with a protein source in vegetables. This flattens the glucose curve and stabilizes energy. Aim to eat at similar times each day, even if the exact foods are repeated. Predictability restores metabolic rhythm. And once stability is achieved, your hunger signals become reliable again. What most people miss at this stage is that they are not just losing progress, they are actively training the wrong system. The problem is not only inconsistent intake, it is the absence of repeated anabolic signaling. Muscle is not maintained by total daily protein alone. It depends on how often muscle protein synthesis is triggered. When protein intake is clustered into 1 or 2 meals or randomly distributed, those signals become infrequent and inefficient. You may believe you are eating enough across the day, but your body does not interpret totals. It responds to patterns. The mechanism is well established in sports nutrition. Muscle protein synthesis is stimulated when a meal contains roughly 20 to 40 grams of high-quality protein, depending on body size. This response peaks and then returns to baseline within about 3 to 5 hours. A position stand in sports science states, quote, "Evenly distributed protein intake maximizes muscle protein synthesis across the day. If you skip this distribution and consume most of your protein in a single meal, you waste potential anabolic windows. The body cannot store excess stimulation. It simply caps the response. The consequence is gradual but significant. Over weeks and months, reduced stimulation frequency leads to lower muscle retention, especially during fat loss phases. At the same time, inconsistent energy intake increases the likelihood of fat gain. This creates a shift in body composition that is often misinterpreted as slow metabolism. In reality, the system is understimulated, not broken. Performance also suffers because muscle tissue is not being adequately supported for repair and adaptation. The solution is precise but simple. You distribute protein evenly across 3 to 4 meals, each reaching approximately 30 grams. You repeat this daily, without variation. This ensures that muscle protein synthesis is triggered multiple times in a predictable rhythm. You are no longer relying on total intake alone. You are optimizing timing without increasing complexity. Once this pattern is established, muscle maintenance becomes automatic rather than dependent on perfect daily tracking. At this point, most people try to fix everything at once, and that is exactly where the system collapses. The problem is not lack of knowledge, it is excess complexity. When a plan includes too many food options, macro targets, timing rules, and substitutions, the probability of consistent execution drops sharply. You may follow it for a few days, but repetition breaks because the system requires constant active thinking. Optimization without repeatability is failure delayed. The mechanism is behavioral, not metabolic. Habit formation depends on low friction and stable cues. When each meal requires new decisions, the brain treats it as a novel task instead of an automated routine. Research in behavioral science shows that adherence rates drop significantly as the number of daily decisions increases. One review summarizes it clearly. Quote, "Consistency is driven more by environmental simplicity than motivational intensity." This means even a scientifically perfect plan will fail if it cannot be repeated under normal life conditions. The consequence is a cycle of starting and stopping. You execute well when motivation is high, then gradually deviate as cognitive load increases. Each deviation feels small, but over time, the structure dissolves. This leads to frustration because the issue appears to be discipline, when in reality, it is system design. You are trying to sustain a high-precision strategy with a low-stability framework. That mismatch guarantees inconsistency. The turning point is accepting that simplicity is not a compromise. It is a requirement. The solution is to deliberately reduce options and lock in repeatable templates. Instead of planning different meals every day, you define a small set of meals that meet your nutritional targets and rotate them without variation for a fixed period. This removes the need for constant recalculation. You shift from decision-based eating to system-based eating. Once the system runs automatically, adherence stops depending on motivation and starts depending on structure. Now the solution becomes concrete. The problem is not what to eat. It is the absence of a repeatable structure. Without structure, every improvement collapses under real-life conditions. The goal of this 7-day system is not perfection. It is elimination of friction. You remove decisions, stabilize intake, and allow physiology to normalize. The mechanism is simple. You build 3 fixed meals and repeat them for 7 days. Each meal is anchored with about 30 grams of protein, a consistent fiber source, and a stable carbohydrate. This creates predictable satiety, stable blood glucose, and repeated muscle protein synthesis signals. A dietary guideline review states, quote, "Regular meal patterns are associated with improved metabolic outcomes and diet quality. By keeping inputs constant, your body can regulate hunger and energy more accurately." Here is the structure. Meal 1 is protein, plus slow carbohydrate, plus fruit. For example, eggs with oats and berries. Meal 2 is lean protein plus rice or potatoes plus vegetables. Meal 3 is similar to Meal 2 or a lighter version like yogurt with nuts and fruit. The exact foods do not matter as much as the consistency. You repeat the same meals daily with minimal variation. If needed, you prepare them in advance to remove execution barriers. The consequence of this approach is immediate stabilization. Hunger becomes predictable within 2 to 3 days. Energy fluctuations decrease because glucose variability is reduced. By day 5 to 7, adherence feels automatic because decisions are no longer required. This is where real optimization begins, not before. The actionable step is direct. Today, choose 3 meals that each contain about 30 grams of protein and a clear fiber source. Write them down. Buy only those ingredients. Repeat them for the next 7 days without modification. Track nothing else. After 7 days, evaluate hunger, energy, and consistency. Then adjust only one variable if needed. This is lazy optimization. It works because it removes what was never necessary.